What's happening, everyone? And welcome to another edition of Systems Lab Live. Very excited to be here for this Monday, March 27th edition. This is the last live stream of March, in which our theme of the month has been all about leadership. Leading teams, leading projects, developing processes. We've been focusing on different leadership aspects. So the top of the month, we focused on leadership attributes. Our second week, we talked about optimizing communication. Last week, we talked about decision making. And this week, we're going to talk about more insights on unlocking project leadership. So this is going to be exciting. Welcome, everyone. Those that are brand new on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and Instagram, especially on YouTube and LinkedIn, you all will be able to see the replay of this. And I welcome you, especially if you're new. For those of you that are new, you may be thinking, what is this type of programming that I've stumbled across? And the Systems Lab Live is all about how we manage projects, lead teams, and develop processes. So what we do here is we merge the worlds of project management, of operations, and technology. We're all about how do we do things better? How do we become more efficient? And how do we ensure that we are carrying out our projects or programs and initiatives to its truest form and intent? And let me just tell you this, a lot of times when we're talking about the project managers, especially because this is niche down to this audience, many people think, oh, this is just for tech, or this is just for, folks that, solely focus on just managing a project. It's not me. So, but if you're a community manager, if you're a social media manager, if you're an online business owner, this is also for you. This is absolutely for you. If you are a team of one or a team of 1.5, you find yourself between being a CEO and managing projects, absolutely, this is also for you too. So we focus on the everyday work and how we can do it better. And so, with that said, I want you all to drop in the chat. What are you working on? What are some of the things that you are stumbling upon in terms of things that might be a little hard, a little challenging? You're trying to just figure all of that out. So I want you to definitely type in the chat, definitely put a comment as well. Would love to hear more about the things that you're working on. What are you masterminding? What are you building? It was about to be the end of the month. Yeah, this week on Friday it will be. So that's 90 days. And so typically people are either wrapping up a project or they're in the thick of it. And sometimes this is really the time where you may start thinking, hey, this is taking a little bit too long, or this is not what I expected, or should I even move forward? But I will say this is that when you get to that point of trying to figure out, oh, is this the next step? Or, man, maybe we need to just throw in the towel. This is a perfect opportunity to recalibrate, a perfect opportunity to take a step back and say to yourself, all right, let's look at what I was doing in the beginning. What was the project vision? What was the outcomes? What was the scope? Sometimes we get ourselves into these situations because the scope is not as tight as we need it to be. And what we mean by scope is we mean by what's required to get it done, the budget, the people, the resources, the why, the stakeholders, all the things that are involved. So think through that. There's some really great content around that. And I want to say maybe, during month 1, let's see, January 1, month 1, I talked about project activation. And I definitely, during that whole month series, we talked a lot about scope and requirements. We talked a lot about that. What is on today's agenda, as you will see on the screen, we're going to talk about tips on meeting team needs. We're going to talk about and highlight 5 entrepreneurs for the Black Tech Effect report. So if you have been following since the beginning of this month, we have been exploring and diving in and breaking down this report from the Black Tech Effect. So by the plug, and the OmniDR network. I believe that's what it's called, OmniDR network. And so they have wrote a report, and the report is all on the state of the Black tech ecosystem. And they've ranked 100 Black tech companies. And we are going to highlight 5 per week, which by the calculation of Google will land us into August. So we are going to unlock 6 through 10 today. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. 6 through 10 today. So I'm going to bring up the whimsical board. Oh, not whimsical. I'm sorry. Miro board, but nothing wrong with whimsical. It was one of my early go-to faves. Let me see. And let me go to recent boards and let me get into this. So each week, the presentation board is powered by Miro, which you can do a lot in terms of project collaboration, ideation, figuring out your scope, making sure that there's a visual component to your projects, and it's a great way to communicate. So I'm actually going to go and I'm going to go back up to the top. I'm going to go to presentation mode. I'm going to share the screen. Oh, not slides. Share screen. I'm going to go right here. And I think you all will see this right here. I'm going to take this down, the overlay, and then you can see me right here. Yay. Okay. So here we are. Jason Mitchell. Great to see you. Let's see. So welcome everyone. Systems Lab Live, March 27th edition. We have 3 components today, as we usually walk through: show and tell, which we're going to be talking about meeting team needs and the 2 most important parts of that. We also will be highlighting five entrepreneurs for the Black tech ecosystem, for the Black Tech Effect Report. In process and flow, we're going to be talking about unlocking leadership. And we're going to be talking about this chart that I found on LinkedIn from another fellow PM that really talked about, some of these leadership attributes. And I have 3 of them that I want to discuss. Now, if you want to hear a little bit more about or a snapshot of that on the YouTube channel, you'll go into the playlist of It's a People Thing. It's video number 4. So you can go in and see that video. So there's always weekly videos, typically under 5 minutes, a quick message about the theme for the week. So make sure that you digest that and share with a friend or 2. Have some really great insights in that. And then So Now What is really driving home, what should you take away? What's the big idea? And how should you go about that? So we're going to get into it. There's 2 things that I absolutely want to highlight for this. And I'm glad, you know what? And we did skip announcements, but that's okay. I think, the big announcement that I probably want to highlight, and I'm going to stop the share really quickly. And I think really the big, and okay, here we go. So this is what we have here. Let's see. Oh, I see. Show and tell. Okay. All right. So let me get back here. This might be where I may save a couple of these at least for next week, but a couple of announcements that I have. One, the final podcast episode will be on Wednesday. We spent the last 10 weeks talking about communication, which has been beautiful, talking about the communication breakdown and so many great lessons ahead on that that you can just go and digest, share with your team. We talk about async communication, how to create a communication plan. We talked about client communication and best practices, more on team communication. Let's see, we talked about knowledge management. So we have a lot of really great episodes, and this one is really a fun one. I think I titled this like the episode where Ashley rants about communication, and I'll probably rename it because you can't like fit all those characters in for the title. But it really just sort of encompasses what's been happening, sort of what are my sort of sticky points, what are some things. So we're just having fun on that episode, but you still walk away um, from some of the gems that were talked about this season. So we'll do that. Next week it'll be April, it'll be a fresh month, and we'll talk about why we're blowing up the podcast. And we'll talk more about that and what that will entail and how you can be a part of the building journey. What else? Now, really, really quickly, we'll talk about AI. And I did want to highlight this. We see right here, I'm going to share this tab right here. Now, on March 16th, they announced the Copyright Office launches new artificial intelligence initiative. Okay, I think this is very, very important that we look at this for a few different reasons. Number one, when you see something like this just heat up, right? Artificial intelligence, AI. I mean, we've seen it with social media, the companies and whatnot. It's very important to understand that there's various layers and dynamics when it comes to new technology, and that includes the policy piece. That it also dives into the regulations and things of that nature. And some of you might be thinking, okay, this is way above my head, but that is exactly my point, especially those that are not necessarily in that space in a day-to-day basis. But what I want to highlight for you is this: whenever we see a surge like this of this AI, this artificial intelligence, I want you to think of a few different things. I want you to think about the money. I want you to think about privacy and data, and I want you to think about people, okay, and people in power. And so, what we're seeing right here is the U.S. Copyright Office launches a new initiative to examine copyright law and policy issues raised by artificial intelligence, including the scope of copyright in the works generated using AI tools and the use of copyrighted materials in AI training. This initiative is in direct response to the recent striking advances in generative AI technologies and their rapidly growing use by individuals and businesses. The Copyright Office has received requests from Congress and members of the public, including creators and AI users, to examine the issues raised for copyright and is already receiving applications for registration of works, including AI generated content. So, how important is this? Why is this important? Because while you are signing up for all the tools and experimenting and having lots of fun with generating ideas, artwork, what else is out there? I think your voice, I think your video, everything is out there. Now, I loved how they said the recent striking advances we've all known. And I just had to bring back into remembrance. I'm reading Scary Smart by Mo Gawad, who's an ex Googler, that we've already experienced AI lots of times, right? We've been in the world of AI. So what I like about this is that the questions then become of ownership. Okay. And so that's been the quest, especially with the rise of the creators economy. And I'm going to turn my attention and my call to action, which I love that they mentioned right here. They say that the Copyright Office has received requests from Congress and members of the public, including creators and AI users. Let's put a pin in that, including creators. Okay. So those of you that consider yourself a part of the creators economy, those of you that are literally building your business, your brands in the name of content, should absolutely lean in very closely to these laws and regulations. Now, something that I think we all should just take note of, if you haven't necessarily thought about this in a while, is that most of these companies, especially when I want to kind of turn back over to the social media piece, Twitter, Instagram, what else? Facebook, LinkedIn, everybody has a legal and policy department, a lobbying office, if you will, very closely connected to Capitol Hill and legislators. Why? Because there's always going to be the question: data, privacy, power, abuse of power, money, all these things in between. Okay. And so you have many people that are licensed and experts and whatnot, and they'll have job openings, and people will, take flight to, go in and create and collaborate with legislatures, and so and elected officials. And so I believe that this is now the time for the creators to just be more and more, and at least for me, I'm trying to get my research and watch some things, but I'd love to see more of the creators out there having a voice out there in terms of testifying in front of Congress, talking about it on their platforms, reaching out, especially those that have a definitely a big following of sorts, because a lot of this, affects you. You all are the users. I mean, granted, many of us that are in this space are in the creative economy, but those that are, they're in it, podcasting, all the things that go on with YouTubing, you know, you all absolutely should be in the mix, in the conversation, making the phone calls, the emails, setting the meetings, things of that nature. And so that's why they're having a series of hearings, hearings. Let me see if I can draw in kind of close so that you all can see it. So starting in April, and I'm so glad because this has definitely not started yet. Interested parties that wish to come to the listening sessions, you can register for literary works on April 19th, 1 to 4, visual works May 2nd, 1 to 4, audio visual works May 17th, 1 to 4, music and sound recordings May 31st, 1 to 4 p.m. So this right here, super important. Just wanted to highlight this piece for you all, as it's something to think about. Just something to think about. What will your role be as hearings are taking place and many different types of policies and measures are taking place? I hear the TikTok ban is a coming. So what does this mean? What does this all mean? And what is your role? All right. Let's get to, as I go to the presentation screen, I might want to go straight into show and tell. Talk about the 2 tips really quickly for meeting your team's needs. Number 1, excuse me, seek out relevant growth opportunities. So those that are in the leadership role, if you're a director, if you are just in a role where you're managing people, you definitely want to seek out ways and opportunities for your team members to learn and develop based on their experience level, based upon individual interests, based upon their needs. So this is really great because as a project manager, you may see something with a team member. Maybe there is an area where they may want to actually grow, whether that could be in coding, it could be in branding, it could be in graphic design, it could be in writing. What else is out there? It could be a social media course. It could be, like I said, more coding or things of that nature. So you want to look at that, and if if you see a team member wanting to take a course or a mastermind, then you'll want to ensure that they have that opportunity. And that could be in a few different ways. It could be an online class, it could be LinkedIn Learning, it could be a retreat, they could be flying someplace. So look at that piece and ensure, if your CEO is not already doing that already, and you have and you are building with them in terms of development, you want to talk to them about, hey, I heard so and so is interested in taking a course, and as you being the leader of many different projects within your team and your company, you being able to see that is going to be great, because it's going to be benefiting the project itself. So if you're in that particular role, if you yourself find yourself in a role where you have influence and impact, you can make suggestions, lean into that, lean into those learning opportunities, because it's going to serve everybody well. Let's see, offers multiple channels of communication. So this is really good, because what often happens is that, the folks that are a little bit more quieter, they feel as though those are the people who, they don't have anything to say. You can, they're often thought about as like, okay, they don't really they don't really know anything, or like things don't bother them because they're quiet. So you have to make sure that, and this also, dives into what we've talked about before, which is the importance of having a personal and professional development assessment, having that for your team so you can know how to communicate. That is what's really going to, take your team and take the projects and the work to the next level, when you know your team member like you know yourself. So that is on that point, and I like that. So let's get into the Black Tech Effect report. Like I said, we want to just go, we gonna go straight into the Black Tech Effect report. We're gonna the first person that we're going to highlight is Air Protein. Okay. This right here is, I think, going to blow your mind. Basically, it's meat made from air. Okay. We believe, this is what they say, we believe you can eat for the world you want. Now, this was founded by Dr. Lisa Dyson in Pleasanton, California. Air Protein is a food tech company that uses cutting edge technology to transform sustainable products into a meat alternative. Similar to the yogurt or cheese fermentation process, Air Protein is creating a new type of agriculture by using water, renewable energy, and elements found in the air to create meat alternative called air meat. Dr. Tyson says we need to produce food in a way that isn't suffocating the planet. We don't have a choice. I think there's a bright future, and we bring innovation to the equation and a change how our food is made. These are the things that I will say this fascinates me. And also, too, I do not know if this is something I would try. Meat Meat Reimagined. We are working with top chefs to develop meat that has the taste and texture of your favorite proteins. That right there gives you an indication. But what I do love is the fact that uh, this Dr. Tyson, really wants to make nutritious meals, and she's really pushing the boundaries on that. So she says our protein is rich in vitamins, minerals, and nutrients with all 9 essential amino acids. Let's see. It's free of GMOs, pesticides, herbicides, hormones, and antibiotics. We created the world's first air chicken and air scallops. We're on track to create our protein flour and a delicious and nutritious chicken, beef, pork, and seafood made from air that are better for the planet in your plate. Wow. Air Protein is a carbon negative by design. Animal and agriculture farming produce 24% of the greenhouse gas emissions. By using elements of the air to produce meat, our process is naturally lowering the emissions and helping to restore our atmosphere and renew our planet. This is fascinating. Air Protein is ahead of its time and uses less resources than any other meat. Air Protein, let's see, 4 days, soy 5 months. It would take, what does it say? It would take a soy farm the size of Texas to produce as much protein as it would Air Protein farm the size of Walt Disney World. Man, what can you say? Okay, so that's Air Protein. Air Protein. Let's see. Akash Systems. I don't, and right quick, I'm just gonna go see now. Okay, so they are actually on Instagram as well. I want to definitely follow them. The air to protein people. This is like fascinating. This like whole thing. Oh my gosh, this looks like a burger she has here. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Akash Systems democratizing access to the world's data. Who we are. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Akash Systems co-founder Dr. Felix Ajeckum, and Ty Mitchell. This is founded in 2016 in San Francisco. Seeking to democratize access to the world's data, Akash Systems uses satellite technology to increase access to fast and reliable internet anywhere in the world. Akash Systems created energy-efficient power and amplifiers for commercial space satellites and proprietary GAN on Diamond Technologies to reach nearly 5 billion people on planet Earth who are not yet connected via internet access. Okay, so this is real, people. They are using satellite technology to democratize the world's information. So they are using some sort of gas or some sort of technology to transmit information faster, less expensive, and more affordable. Could you imagine that? Wow. Let's see. So that's this piece of it. Products. They have radio transmissions and power amplifiers. All right. Let's go into All Here Education. Co-founder Joanna Smith Griffin, EdTech. All Here Education is a cloud-based company created to change chronic absenteeism. I like it. Within state education agencies and school districts. The platform All Here Advisor was created to foster success using mobile messaging powered by artificial intelligence. Here we have it. Good old AI. Your students' participation engagement is more. Let me share this right quick. Is more important than ever. We foster student success by using mobile messaging powered by artificial intelligence. So they communicate 24/7 via automated two-way texting. Proactively sends nudges and drawing upon customized knowledge bases to ensure each family and student receives the right support at the right time. This is great. Guide students and families at each stage of their journey and through school. So you get mobile messaging powered by AI, evidence-based solutions, technology, and actual insights. Let's see, what else do we have here? Let's see, solutions, case studies. Let's go look at what the case studies are. Messina Central School District. Let's see what their case study is really quickly. Let's see. I see. Messina Central School District in New York serves 2,800 students in grades K through 12. It's located minutes away from the Canadian border in St. Lawrence River Valley, a beautiful rural setting with a population of 15,000 residents. The district's 440 employees are split evenly between instructional and support staff. So they have 5 schools. They had 5 schools for a 6.5-week trial. Messages sent over 10 weeks, 13,105. Estimated seconds, 90. District hour saves, 328. And the money, 13,651. Now that's juxtaposed to the 21-22 school year, September to October, where they saved almost 50,000. Let's see. Challenges. Educators and staff at Messina prioritize communication with families using a range of tools from emails to parent cafes. The district has cultivated a culture of innovation. So when administrators learned of All Here through the nonprofit organization Attendance Works, they reached out to find out more about how this novel two-way communication tool might fit into existing systems. Acknowledging the validity of parents' concerns, they quickly pivoted to three-part focus: mental health, academics, and attendance. So they're over communicating on several different types of topics. They've implemented signups for Massina's summer program spiked after families received messages about enrollment. Parents provided a wealth of immediate feedback in response to an attendance campaign, which the administration used to inform its decisions in the change of direction. Fantastic. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we got 2 more. Andala, maybe it is. Qualified in Code Wars. So, founded in 2014, HR Tech ensures that companies find the best talent anywhere in the world, creating opportunities for engineers in emerging markets to work with the top companies. This platform allows users to join talent pools while based at remote hubs, with hubs spanning 4 continents. Companies can sign up to source the best talent in fulfillment of Andela's mission, connecting brilliance and opportunity. So I think this is massively wonderful right here. Learn more. Discover brilliant talent around the world. So you can hire or you can apply for jobs. Trusted by GitHub, InVision, Coursera, Kraft Heinz, Systemic, and Goldman Sachs. So big companies. That's great. You can find tech experts, build your dream team. So we specialize in helping our highly skilled global technology talent community connect with hundreds of leading companies. Smart skill matching, meet the best talent, and continued excellence. This is probably a game changer, especially for with the recent, some of these recent tech layoffs. And I will share my screen for the last one. Let's see. Aperia Technologies, the last one, founded by Brandon Richardson in 2010. Wow, he's been around for a long time. Industries: mobility tech, industrial machinery manufacturing. Aperia Technologies is an industry-leading transportation tech company used to transform a more efficient, safer, and better environment. The company created the Halo tire inflator to improve fuel technology and road safety, while reducing tire expenditures, downtime, and maintenance costs. Wow. World leader in tire management, pressure automation, and predictive analytics. So they have a Halo tire inflator, Halo Connect, service parts and accessories. Problem: more than 50% of tractor trailer tires are underinflated. So he has created a solution for that. The Halo tire inflator uses a wheel's rotation to maintain optimal tire pressure. It bolts on in minutes and improves fuel economy and road safety while reducing tire expenditures, downtime, and maintenance costs. Brilliant. This is like super brilliant. I would, who would have thunk it? So you have the Halo tire inflator, Halo Connect for tractors, Halo Connect for trailers, the Drive app. Here's all the things ready to go. All right. Well, this is it, everyone. We've highlighted our 5. We'll be back next week with a new 5. And we're going to keep going with this. I think it's very important to know what companies are out there. As you know, this is definitely a part of my personal journey of really just unpacking what is in this tech ecosystem, especially in the Black tech ecosystem. and understanding what is being created, also studying how you actually create product. And so if only I can get in touch with everybody, because it'd be very cool to just interview everyone and just kind of get the story behind a lot of this. But this is really, really interesting and dynamic work that is going on. So for today's process and flow, we're talking all month long. We've been talking a lot about leadership. Some people might be saying, oh, well, why do we have, battling decision fatigue? Well, as many of us know, especially in our day-to-day, outside of if we compartmentalize the many hats, we know that in life, we just have a lot of decisions. And because of that, we often will get tired and we'll get a little weary because we have so many decisions to make. And so, as a leader, especially with projects, there's a lot of innocuous decisions, and then there's a lot of really big and important decisions. So, I've heard it a lot. How do I best support my leader, my CEO, when we have a lot of decisions? And last week we talked about creating a decision log. I showed you how to do that, a quick demo in ClickUp. There's a great, what do we call a carousel on Instagram about this as well. I'm about to put up a carousel, LinkedIn carousel on that too, so we can carry the conversation over there as well. And so lastly, as we close out this month on leadership, I want to hone in on more leadership attributes, because it's my belief as we change the narrative of project managers and just the person that just does the task and that's it. We want to kind of get into the 3 keys to unlocking leadership. And so I'll show you the chart right here. This is a chart which I thought was pretty phenomenal right here. And I'm going to close a couple of things out right here, which, we have strong communication, approachable problem-solving skills, generous with appreciation, accountable, can work in the gray, organized, and active listener. So I chose 3. I chose working in the gray, approachable, and problem solving skills. So if I swing back over here, I want to talk about the 3 keys to unlocking leadership, the importance of understanding why working in the gray is not a bad thing. Now, you don't need to live in the gray for a long time, but you can work in the gray. Working in the gray is really the unknown. Working in the gray means, my scope and my requirements, they're a little dusty, right? Maybe there's been a stakeholder that's changed the direction. So now things are gray. So your job in terms of working in the gray is to help to refocus and recenter the direction of the project. And that leads into being a problem solver. Now, those that have been instructed or they've been told, because you are the PM, you got to do everything and you got to solve for everything and you have to know everything. Now, if you are a team of just you and the CEO, yeah, there's probably a good amount of pressure, healthy pressure on figure it out, right? However, you as a leader know that you are not the prime person that needs to be the author, the finisher, the SME, the person that knows all the things intimately and intricately. You'll need to be that person. However, you can ask questions, you can research, you can phone a friend, you can come up with ideas about how to get to solving the problem, especially when you're working your way out of the gray. That's what's really important. So that might mean taking a step back and saying, all right, let me get some key players in the room. Let me sit down with some folks and really start to hash out what's the real problem at hand. What is it that we are actually doing in terms of working in the gray? Or even if you're not in the gray, maybe you just took a sharp left and you weren't supposed to do it. So now you're in territory where you're not familiar with. So being a problem solver means that if you have a virtual event or an in-person event, and let's say that the caterer is late, you don't know when they're going to get there. Your event is starting. You promised, people that you're going to have a nice little sweet little VIP breakfast, huh? And you start sweating a little bit because now you're like, what are we going to do? Right? And at that point, folks are going to be here soon. So what happens, right? There's a couple things that you could do. You could, go and, make sure that when you call the company, get the ETA. In the meantime, in between time, you could get a little snack, hold over if you want to, but be the problem solver. Nobody's expecting you to get in that kitchen and start cooking. Okay. No way, no how. No way, no how. So you have to start thinking. And even if there is a catering company that's going to be there, you may want to have a backup plan. Okay, so if this happens, if the car breaks down, if the truck breaks down, what will we do? So you may want to have a few things on hand. You may not need to call up a good old Panera Bread or another bagel place or something along those lines and just be ready to go and get the food and get the cream cheese and get the butter and have a little toasting station and whatnot, and just be ready. So that's going to require some flexibility. That's going to require some planning. It's going to take really you being the leader and stepping into the fact that, hey, sometimes things might be a little gray, or some things are just going to be out of my control. So what is it that I need to do to ensure that this doesn't happen? Man. So be the problem solver. Okay. That's your role. Questions that people have about that. Questions people have about working in the gray, being a problem solver. Talk to me about that. Love it. Be approachable. And I'm going to check my notes really quick because I'm going to make sure that I'm covering the points that I like to cover. Okay, I think we got it. Being approachable. Who would have thought it? Why did I choose being approachable? And I want to make this really clear because I feel like we got to really make sure that that we understand that it's good that people can approach us, especially those that are leading out these projects, right? You don't want to be the type of person where nobody can come to you if there's an issue at hand. What's going on? What's going on, girl? So good to see you. Lauren Elise Collective, client experience. Love that box that you had in your stories, by the way. So good. Being approachable means that people can be able to confide, right? Not necessarily deep, dark secrets, but they can be able to give their opinion, and they can be able to just express, what it is that they are feeling about the direction of the project. Well, maybe, and also too, if mistakes are being made, it's not the end of the world, but people can't be scared to approach you. I want to talk to also the people who say that I'm not a people person, right? I want to reframe that, because what you have to do is you have to know thyself. I'm really, really big, again, personal and professional development assessments. Dr. Camille's in the building, so she knows exactly where I'm going with this. I feel like people should know thyself, and having the DISC assessment does that. I often look at it every week. In fact, I'm recalibrating my own sort of plan to start to build out a nice little mural board so I can sort of look at myself and my process and questions I need to ask myself. But know yourself, know thyself, right? So know how to communicate with people, because you just can't be living your life with talking about I'm not a people person. I do not feel as though the Lord wants you to live your life that way. I really, really don't. That's from the bottom of my heart. So what you have to really do is know yourself by going ahead and like taking the DISC assessment or strength finders. I'm often, by the way, so torn because I like the two. They're very different, but they're also very practical as well. Being approachable, again, means that there's trust. People trust you. People trust you with the work. People trust you that you're gonna listen to them. People trust you in terms of the advice that you will give. Be approachable means that your CEO, your leader, has confidence in you. My goodness. Be approachable. I'm not going to belabor the point, but I love this because one of my fellow PMs had this, and I was like, you know what? This is what it means to be an effective PM, a project leader. And I'm going to use that interchangeably with like project manager and project leader because soon and very soon, well, I don't even say soon and very soon. It's like it needs to be happening now. Like if you got a team, you need to have a project manager as a part of the team. Someone that really knows how to, I love saying this because I just think it's real. Someone that really knows how to like craft a project vision and help craft the requirements and pull people together and make sure the vision's documented and knows how to carry the ball forward, that knows how to lead, that's an active listener, that's organized, that's a problem solver, that has strong communication, that can work in the gray, that's accountable, that's generous with appreciation, that's approachable. That, my friends, are the qualities that we should be leaning into as project leaders. Huh? Huh? Let's talk about reflections, people. Let's reflect. Who's feeling that? I love it. I love to see it. Comments or questions on this, because this requires you to be very much self-aware. Very much self-aware. Now let me go into my little Dropbox situation. Let's see. I'm gonna go with it though. Come on, Dropbox. Let's see. Personal. I got a little thing that says personal development folder. Come on. I'm gonna get into DISC attributes, DISC values, Gallup strength finders. You receive 3. Attach a video file. Lord, Dropbox they be coming up with their then product enhancements, so I could like record in Dropbox, which I feel like I don't want to. See how I said that? I said I don't want to. I don't want to. Okay, these are my attributes, y'all. All right, it's my attributes. Okay. Okay. These are just like, and we don't have this type of time. We need to have a DISC person on. That's probably who I should have had on. That's okay. We got time. We got time to dive into this. External decision making summary. What does it say about Ashley Schuler? You are above else practical. You interpret people and organizations or an organizational structure functionally or pragmatically. You understand reality and respond to situations in a practical way. You don't get overly personal, nor do you tend toward being overly dogmatic to certain rules. The rules that drive you are functionality rather than relationships or structure. As a result, you're better at implementation, goal achievement, and focusing on getting the work done than you are worrying about what limitations there are to getting those results or any person's needs. Now, I actually agree with this wholeheartedly. As much as I like people, love people, and love on people, when you kind of get the little work mode project leader, Ashley, It's kind of like, when is it going to get done? You know what I'm saying? But it's that empathy piece that I have to lean into. Okay? That's something that a good friend of mine said. So shout out to Atlas of the Heart, Brene Brown. Just being able to pull it in, just being cognizant of what's happening. So maximizers. Look at this. Look at this. Overall development level of task dimensions is high, while the people and systems dimensions are moderate, yet slightly underdeveloped in comparison. This is okay. Again, external decision making pattern summary. Okay? External. You see what I'm saying? This says external decision making implementation in systems. Oh, okay. Gotcha. And let me just go up here really quickly so that okay. There's three. Okay, sorry. Personal, practical, and analytical. People, the practical, and the analytical piece. Okay, let me get down in here. So the maximizers, capacity for work, both in terms of application operation of machines. Let's see. Solid work ethic, practical thinking, organizational skills. Minimizers, communication with others, which is interesting. I feel like I've gotten much better with this, by the way. I feel like I have. Specifically with superiors and authority figures. Now I did slip up some other time, but we had 80%. Minimizers. This is good because it basically says this is what I maximize. Okay, this is what's big for me, and then this is like kind of like, I'm kind of like, motivators, material and financial security, social and peer recognition, status and recognition is primary motivation for this pattern, which I find this to be interesting because I'm not an accolades kind of gal, but I feel like maybe somebody can break that down for me a little more. Ooh, need for growth, develop better people awareness, especially needs for understanding its structure and responsibilities. So I need to make sure that the people factor is just as strong as the task and the systems piece. Love it. Okay, what else does it say? This is really interesting now. Reinforcement, quality orientation, development, attitude towards others, respect for policies. Preferred environment. This is my preferred production-oriented climate with the endpoint of each job segment clearly defined. Performance-based compensation and recognition. I will say this, that I gotta see where the end is. Okay. I have to be able to see something. Internal. You define yourself through your work, but also identify yourself with a system of rules that you have that you have in your head and that guide your actions in life. Ooh, ain't that the truth? You have some internal sense of direction of where you're going and how you're going to get there. There's still some uncertainty. Yeah, I think at the time that's what it was. You have a good understanding of your jobs or roles, slightly some uncertainty in how that role fits into your life. You don't value yourself enough for just who you are rather than what you do and how well you do it. Yeah. Yeah. I've drastically have grown. Let's see. Good work of it, problem management, personal drive, self-depreciate, overly hard on myself. True. Can be. Working on it. Opportunities to develop more of your potential, sense of mission, material possessions. These material possessions, it's the material possessions for me. So I need to make sure that I have self-assessment, which I need to do better on. But you see, y'all see what I'm talking about with like knowing yourself. Okay, we gonna get into these values right quick. I'm gonna show y'all. This is me. Let me tell y'all something right here. This be me. Ooh. This is me, y'all. I am I am altruistic, political, and regulatory. Altruistic, a very high sincerity factor and a high empathy for others' needs. Political, you are a very strong leader and take control of a variety of initiatives and maintain control. That's true now. That's true now. If you're gonna want an Ashley Schuler to run something, oh for sure. I'm gonna need all the freedom to build. Come on, somebody. We gotta do it. We gotta do it. We gotta let me just build, right? High regulatory, you have a strong preference for following established systems or creating them if none are present. Okay. That's a word right there. That's a word. So attributes, let's go back up here so y'all can kind of, these are values help influence behavior, and your action can be considered somewhat of a hidden motivation. Understanding your values helps to tell you why you prefer to do what you do. This drives your passion, reduces fatigue, inspires you to increase drive. Important stuff, folks. It's important. You got to know thyself, and you got to know it well. I want to introduce to you guys. Action lab time. I would just take the disc assessment, y'all. Pretty much, or the strength finders. We didn't have time to get into that, but that's really what's what. Yeah, take it. That's pretty quick. Let's talk about the new segment starting next month. Okay, very excited. Very excited. It's called the Builder segment. The Builder segment. So here's what we're doing, folks. I want us to get very excited about what's about to be taking place over the next several months. The Builder segment is really going to take about 15 minutes or so to explore, highlight what I'm building behind the scenes in real time. So we're going to like do some stuff together, or I'm going to show you what I'm building, or I'm going to have people come on and tell us what they have built. I have a couple of invitations out now for people to roll through. Haven't gotten any replies. So maybe Issa, no. But we got plenty, because I'm gonna record some more invitations. Just a FYI, just so that you know, I record every single invitation for Systems Lab Live and for podcasting. Well, definitely for podcasting. I think what I have done is done a couple where I haven't done some formal invitations, but I'm going to be super cognizant this point forward of doing these invitations because they're important. So we're gonna, talk through and walk through like Coda. Like that's like my new jam. Coda.io. This is where I have produced my very first whoop, 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 my very, 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 very first transition guide. I'm gonna open it up so you all can see. I just like it a lot. See this right here? So this is very much like Notion-y, but it's different because they're like docs and like you can build stuff. So this PM guide is really all about it's a mix of, it's basically like my own thoughts based upon what I've learned and my experiences when it comes to managing projects. So we have and it's tailored. So I have kind of about this guide. I think we're just gonna do 5 reasons. Hello, somebody. 5 reasons. I embedded one of my live streams on here and my my podcast episode. Talk about the role of the PM then versus now and my observations. Talk about the power skills, leadership skills, defining project strategy, development approach, timing, optimizing risk, communication. What's synchronous communication? This is like really, really cool stuff. I like it. I'm actually building out a faux project. It's called Project Beta. Y'all see this right here? This is dope. It's going to create new technology that will create housing matching software for persons experiencing homelessness. Here's the project goal. Here's the business goal. Here are the timeline. Here's this is going to be the budget plan, the schedule management plan. Here are all the team members. And I've written my first epic. Whoop, whoop. So exciting. So we're going to be in here and some other places and spaces, just really diving in deep into the world of what is being built in real time. I just feel inspired that that this kind of work needs to happen. I know there's something really fantastic and beautiful about, working on something and then like launching it and stuff. I like it. I think it's great, but I also like the beauty of building out in the open. So we're going to, have some fun with this, show you some different stuff that I'm working on. We're going to do stuff in real time. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. Well, all right. How fun has this been? Okay. Thank you all so much. Welcome to the last Systems Lab Live of the quarter. And we're going to be back Q2. Ooh. What's the thing for the month? Hold on, somebody. See, we're going to go back here. Let me go back here. I'm going to show y'all. Whoop. Stop. Regulate and listen. I think. Stop. Regulate and listen. Let's see. Is this it? This ain't it. I said this ain't it. Is this it? Hi there, friend. Oh, this is it. Oh. Oh. I love this. Y'all want to see the roadmap? Here we go. Ah. Love it. What is this? Switch between views. Card details now open in side view, but you can switch to center. Oh, this is nice. Come on, Miro. Okay, so April, planning is everything. Project Essential Session 2, planning is everything. We're going to get into project strategy, documenting the process, parts 1 and 2, and how to create a project management plan. How exciting is this? So we're going to dive a little bit deeper next month into project strategy. This is why you have these little things here. And then in May, we're going to talk about risky business, all about risk. This is going to be great. I love a good risk discussion. I really do. And project turbulence. Yeah, so I feel like that's going to be part 1 too. Okay, good. So we're good for Q2. We're on fire. So defining project strategy, how you should go about approaching. And we're going to talk about waterfall, agile. Oh, this is great. What else I have in that little board? Let's open this up a bit. The delivery cadence and the life. Oh yeah, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be exciting. All right, I'm out. This is good. This got me real excited. This got me real jazzed. I'm excited. Have a great rest of the week. Be sure to share this live stream out with a friend or two, especially if you're on YouTube or LinkedIn. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Lots of content. In fact, I'm excited because I'm going to be getting someone to just chop a whole bunch of stuff up. Just chop a whole bunch of stuff up. What's going on, Nadia? And it's going to be great because, gosh, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the content that I have. Let's talk about it. So that's all I have. I'm going to have a little bit of tea. Do 1 or 2 more things. And then it's time to retire. Okay. You all have a great rest of the week. Oh, Lord have mercy. The little live stream thing just went down. Okay. I like how it went. Let me make sure the audio's back. Okay. Swaggy. See you guys soon. We out.